Another story that keeps me up at night. So several years ago I was going to a shop in Huntington Beach, and I went there often, and sometimes almost every single week, and I would just go and browse. And so I was up at front and I was next, and the store owner was helping out a couple of other people. And there's this neat looking bell, ring for service, but looked like an old-fashioned bell. I mean, he had an old-fashioned cash register. I just lightly touched it, ever so lightly, and it rang very loud. And then the chatter died down a bit. And I looked up at the store owner, who was helping out a couple of people, obviously and clearly helping out people, and he slowly turned to me with a very angry face. His eyebrows were low, telling me that he was angry. And my mother was with me, and she and I started to panic on the inside. And I'm like, how do I redeem myself? So I just say sorry. And he kind of continued to look mad and help the other customer. But what it looked like is that I clearly saw the store owner, and I rang the bell right in front of him as he was helping a person. And then not just him, but the customers were looking at me thinking I'm probably a very young, impatient teenager, high schooler, and I think that's what they thought. And so I just said sorry. And I remember the next time I was at that store, I went in, it was during the week, and there was hardly anyone there, and the store owner was in the back, so I actually had every excuse to ring that bell. And when the store owner came, I said, I really like this bell. It's a very neat bell. And he said, thank you. And I'm like, okay, I think no hard feelings, Another thing that happened at the same store that I could think of is kind of having a sense of humor. I always love the fact of paying with exact change sometimes. And I had a bag full of coins, and so when he gave me the total, I held it up and said, let me see, or something like that, pretending that I was going to use a whole bunch of coins just to pay him. And I said, no, I'm just kidding. He smiled at that. I said, I have a sense of humor, and he started to chuckle and laugh. The next time I did that, and I cannot believe for the life of me how I, probably a high schooler, had such audacity, and I held up the bag of change, and he completely dropped his countenance and veered off very quickly and such to help another customer. And I'm like, there's a time and a place, and I knew that. In my heart I knew that, but in my autistic brain, it's sometimes a different story. I mean, that was back in high school. I probably would never do that again, especially 2 times in a row.